Hello and welcome to Nick's Allotment Diary. So here's a little plot tour. The apple trees are in full blossom now. This one has got 2 stems. There's blossom on both and they're doing well. The raspberries are doing well amongst the weeds. That's one of my jobs that I need to get on with, is to weed the raspberry bed, because otherwise the weeds will compete with the raspberries and they won't do as well. Here's the rhubarb, it's doing really well. This is the forced rhubarb, it's really red. The leaves are yellowy because the light is excluded, and as you can see there's still plenty of stems. I'm going to take the compost bin from over the rhubarb after I've taken this picking and let the light get to it, because I don't want to exhaust the plant too much, and it will then recover in time for next year. Here's the other apple tree now. This one's the James Grieve apple, completely out now, the flowers fully open. Plenty of bees about at the moment, so hopefully should get a reasonable crop of apples on this tree this year. Here are the strawberry plants. These are the spare strawberry plants, they're doing well. I have got plenty of them. The allotments are having an open day later in the year, so I'll be donating these plants to be sold on the plant store. Potatoes in buckets, they're starting to come through now. Plenty of them, the shoots starting to emerge. I'll just need to top up some of these buckets with a bit more compost, and when I've weeded this area, which is well overdue, I'll place the buckets in the soil. I'll dig round them and just settle them into the soil so the plants can root into the soil. Here are the kale plants. They've all gone to flower now, which I'm leaving those for another week or so because the bees love the flowers of brassicas. And then what I'll do is I'll take out all the plants, and then I can use this bed for something different. Here's the herb bed. These are various herbs. Excuse my shadow, it's quite a sunny day today. Those are chives. It looks as if the curry plant hasn't survived, so I think I'll dig that out and replace it with a new one. And then we've got some sage, some thyme, and there's a lavender. There is quite a bit of bindweed in this bed, so I'm going to have to try and get that out. It is growing amongst the strawberries as well, which are next to the herb bed. Strawberries are just starting to flower, so hopefully I should get some decent amount of strawberries on these this year. I'm going to build a proper frame to go over it with netting to prevent the birds from getting to the strawberries. So here's the onion bed. I've taken the netting off the onions now because, as you can probably see here, the onions have started to produce their little green shoots, so now there's no danger of the birds pulling them out because they won't think the tops of the onions are worms. So here's the garlic, that's doing well. Hopefully should start producing decent sized bulbs. There is a little bit of yellowing of the outer leaves, but I think that's because of the weather we had over the winter. Here's the purple sprouting broccoli, just starting to go to flower now, so some of the stalks I haven't caught in time. but I have picked quite a lot from it. I've had loads of purple sprouting broccoli from these 4 plants or so. So been really pleased. Probably a couple more weeks and then I'll pull the plants out, and then I can use this bed for something else because there's nothing else left in it. The cabbages had all gone to seed, and so had the sprout plants which I planted late last year. So a lesson learned there: don't bother planting sprout plants late in the season. I think you'll get sprouts the next year. The plant just thinks, oh, I'm going to produce flowers now. So I've got some sprout plants growing in the greenhouse, some new ones, and I'll plant them out sort of in a few weeks' time, and then should get some sprouts in the autumn and winter. Broad beans, a few plants are alright. A lot of them have been nibbled. We get something called the pea and bean weevil, and they tend to nibble all the leaves all around the edges. You can see on this plant, this is the one that's got the most flowers on, so I'm hoping I'm going to get some beans on this one. I've planted some new plants, half a dozen new plants along this row, so hopefully I should get a few broad beans. Leeks are doing alright, haven't gone to flower yet. These were ones that were planted sort of latish last year, but as soon as I start seeing them flowering, if any of them start throwing up flower stalks, then I'll take the leeks out and we can have them leek and potato soup. Flower bed needs weeding desperately, and the weeds are growing faster than I can deal with them at the moment. Rose bush. Do you remember the rose bush that I severely cut back? It's producing loads of new leaves, so I'm now really hopeful I'm going to get some roses. Here's the lavender. Get my shadow out of the way. That's doing well. Another rose bush here, and look over here. Here's some of the calendula. They're growing well. Should have plenty of those this year. Update on the fruit cage. Everything in flower now. There's the blueberries. Plenty of flowers on the blueberries. Black currants. Red currants. Here's the cherry tree. I don't think that's going to flower this year. I think it's just going to produce leaves. So no cherries on the small cherry tree. But that's fine. That should be good. I'm looking for a bit for it to establish this year, and then I should get some cherries next year. Over here we've got some more red currants. That there is a gooseberry. Need to keep an eye on it for gooseberry sawfly, because they're about at this time of year. They're the larvae, little caterpillars that can eat the leaves on your gooseberries. Here are the strawberries. These are the ever-bearing strawberries. As you can see, starting to produce the pinky purple flowers. Lots of other strawberry plants in this fruit cage, so I should get quite a few strawberries, which will be nice in the summer. Now moving on to the greenhouse. Plenty of tomatoes. Tomato plants are looking really sturdy now. I'm pleased with that one. There's a gigantimo, nice thick stem. So I'm pleased with those. Over on the back, these seedlings are now all doing well. So we've got Rudbeckia, some cucumbers, market more cucumbers, a few sweet bell peppers just starting to come through, sheep sorrel, those are seeds from Ryan. Cheers Ryan, thanks for those. I've got some of the red Orac growing at home, so I'll bring some of those up soon. The true potato seed, they're really doing well now. So these are potatoes grown from the potato berries that produce on top of a potato plant from last year. These were the Sarpo ones. So I've planted some of the seeds and they're all coming up now, so they need transplanting really into a larger pot, I think. We've got some peppers. These were the Aldi pointed peppers. They're starting to grow now. They weren't doing very well at home, to be honest. I think they needed the heat of the greenhouse. Now they're perking up, starting to grow. Growing quite slowly, but hopefully I should get some peppers by the end of the summer. Over here now, you probably recognise those plants. They're marigolds. They're doing well. Then we have the spring onions. Spring onions, growing those in little modules, and I'll just put them as bunches to get some nice salad onions. Sweet corn, those are the gold crest sweet corn this year I'm trying. Plants are all doing pretty well. Over there we have Californian poppies, dahlias, pom-pom dahlias, and here we have the shallots. They're ready to go out now, definitely need to go out into the allotment. And here we have some zinnia. Over to this side, the pea plants. These are peas called Ruthless. They were started off in March. They're ready to go out in the allotment. And then we have some brassicas. These are Savoy cabbage, and I think there's some different ones. Hisby, the ones at the back of Hisby. And then I've got here some Brussels sprout, Bosworth, and broccoli Sampson. Some coriander, cilantro it's also known as. And here we have the giant red onions. They need potting up now. And now we come to the sunflowers for the Sunflower Challenge 2018. Here we go. These are doing pretty well. They need potting up, some of the smaller ones into larger pots. So I've got American Giant, Titan, Russian Giant, and also I've got some of the smaller ones. Some of them were nibbled the other day by slugs, or well, it was snails actually. So I found the snail in the tray and I removed it. So as you can see, some of them got a little bit nibbled, but I think that'll survive. The salad leaves, some of those are going to seed now, producing flowers. I think they're sort of like a mustard type plant. Nice yellow flowers. So I need to sort of chop those back a bit, I think. Some more tomatoes, Golden Sunrise, Mountain Magic, Crimson Crush. So I should have plenty of tomatoes to plant out in the border in a few weeks' time. And under the bench we have potatoes in buckets. They're doing really well. I just topped up the buckets a few weeks ago, but yeah, I'm really pleased with those. Hopefully I should get some potatoes in about another maybe 6 weeks, something like that. Hope you enjoyed the tour of my allotment. Thanks very much for joining me, and I'll see you again next time.